Donald Trump just finished speaking to the Economic Forum organization of the city of Chicago. He was invited to speak on the economy, but just ended up embarrassing himself and showing us that he knows nothing about economics. In this video, we'll look at Trump's inability to even explain his own policy anymore, and as always, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Last week, Trump spoke to the Economic Forum of Detroit and gave a terrible performance. He completely embarrassed himself and totally lost the crowd. But surprisingly, he was invited back to speak at the Economic Forum of Chicago. This time, however, he had to have a moderator interview him instead of just rambling on endlessly. His handlers cannot even trust him to stand up and talk on his own anymore. While the moderator gave Trump the opportunity to be more orderly this time, he still was able to quickly derail the interview. He hilariously spent more time arguing with the moderator than actually answering the questions. He started off with economics, talking about how much he would love to put tariffs on just about anything coming into the country. Whenever he was pressed for details, however, he would just start making up numbers.
All the same.
Because I told them, and I said it publicly, they're not going to sell one car into the United States. I said, if I run this country, if I'm going to be president of this country, I'm going to put a 100, 200, 2,000% tariff. They're not going to sell one car into the United States.
He then went on to argue with the moderator about what he thinks the benefits of starting insane trade wars would be. The two also went back and forth on taxes and how his economy plan and tariffs completely ignore trade with the rest of the world, which Trump seems to have not thought about until now. After this bit, however, things started to get strange, with Trump talking about immigration or attacking big companies like Google. He even spent time trying to argue that he would make a good chairman of the Federal Reserves, a position reserved for economic experts. At one point, he even pointed out a woman in the crowd and told her that she needs to be scared of immigrants because they are going to come to the United States and kill her.
These killers are among the most evil killers. They will look at you down, the beautiful woman there, they'll look at you and they will kill you. These are seriously sick people.
Finally, Trump ended by arguing with the moderator about whether he won the 2020 election. He even tried to claim that he had a completely peaceful transfer of power. It's just so unbelievable. But the saddest part is he had supporters in the crowd cheering as he blatantly lied. Just take a look at this.
Business people, capital markets, they all like the rule of law, they like certainty. The Chinese, who you mentioned, other dictators,
Right.
They don't like it when things go wrong, but they like it when things go wrong in America. If you look at the events of January the 6th, 2021, it showed to many people America's democracy was unruly and violent. Only 3 weeks to go to the election. Will you commit now to respecting and encouraging a peaceful transfer of power?
Well, you had a peaceful transfer of power.
You had a peaceful transfer of power. You had a peaceful... Come on, President Trump. You had a peaceful transfer of power compared with Venezuela, but it was by far the worst transfer of power for a long time.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because this is what they like to do. This is what they like to do. It's very interesting.
The question, President Trump, is would you respect the decision?
When I found out about this interview, I did a little check. He's a man that has not been a big Trump fan over the years. So I had a choice. Do I do this interview or not? I'm glad I did it. But do I do this interview or do I disappoint a lot of people? Because I know a lot of people in the audience. But his view is very different than mine. Let me just tell you.
I'm asking you a question, Trustra.
We had a term, peacefully and patriotically.
Donald Trump made it clear today that he is not prepared to implement any economic plan for this country. He can't even focus on a simple topic to explain his campaign to people. Despite this, his supporters still cheer for whatever he claims. Hopefully soon, this insanity will end.